Well, this doesn't happen a lot, but every now and then I get a big name in football contact me and say, Jim, I need a piece. I need to be on, I need a piece. Yeah. There's something that's happened on the Saturday Rub that I need to respond to. So before we get this superstar of the game involved in this show, I'm just going to play you a little bit of audio.
I know why they've given him the cup, JB, because and this is actual fact. If you ask all the players of 92 and 94,
run us that Joe
they
Fraser
reckon that Jacko, they did not get the cup out of his hands. He was a cup hogger. He was a cup hogger on the victory lap. Oh, sorry, Bill, you were weeping at this stage. But Jacko was a cup hogger running around the ground. Wouldn't let anyone else. You got Matera from the Norm Smith, and Jacko's running around. Big Macintosh, flexing his muscles. And that's what it's been like with the cup.
So this drifted over to the west.
Oh, did it?
And there's no bigger name in football in this state. And he said, Jim, get me on.
Oh, he's coming on.
We are getting the two-time premiership superstar of the West Coast Eagles, Glenn Jakovich, involved in this show. Jacko, welcome to you.
Thanks, boys. Hello. Thanks for having me on. And
Jacko.
And hello, Wayne.
When people call me Wayne, I'm in trouble.
Do you know Joe Fraser here?
Hey?
Joe Fraser.
Yeah, g'day, Joe.
Yeah. I'll show you, Joe.
Hey, Glenn, a wise person once told me never get your ambitions mixed up with your capabilities.
This is on. Jacko.
Let's get in a 4x2 and we'll see it.
Jacko, name the time and the date, and we'll give it all to charity.
Yeah, this is getting awkward.
Hits you with a knife. Cut him off, Jim. I love it.
There we go. Ross Line mantra. Anytime, any place, anywhere. Something better than that, Wayne.
You know what's funny about this?
What?
He really is kidding himself.
I'm with you, Duck. I'm with you.
Hey, boys, what Wayne doesn't realise, I grew up south of Freo, down in Wadlar Field. I'm 26 and a half the street, let me tell you.
He's giving him his record.
Well, Duck grew up in Wagga Wagga. What are you in Wagga Wagga, Duck?
By the way,
the Marines.
By the way, Jacko, I've said this before. This is coming from you, a bloke who thought he'd beat Grant Hackett in a swimming race. You can get slightly ahead of yourself.
Yeah, well, JB, you got to just have a crack sometimes, but it's amazing how tough you are when you're 2,500 kilometres away from the break.
He's still going. No, he's talking about himself.
I think he's talking about himself. I hope.
Jacko, now let's get to the bottom of this. You two great players played on each other close to 20 times. You're at your prime when you both went head-to-head. I think you secretly think you had Duck covered.
Yeah, no, it's pretty close. It was. We played, I think, 6 or 7 finals, a lot of good Friday night games at the Waco. I think I just pipped him 18-2, my favour.
Hey, I will say, let's not forget, it's much easier to punch it than it is mark it.
I averaged 11 marks against the Duck.
So 18-2, Duck. 18-2,
Please,
Jacko.
I'll give you some stats after this show.
Well, I've just
Duck's
got
done
one
that
game
thing where
here.
he's dropped the mic and taken off again.
I've just got one game here, Jim. The second elimination final.
I went into that game injured too.
No, Duck, shush. West Coast Eagles defeated North Melbourne. Best for West Coast. Jakovich first. North Melbourne. No, nothing. No. So there's one.
He was injured, Bill. He was very injured that year.
Right. So how do you reckon it went? If, say, you played on each other 20 times, Duck, what do you reckon?
I thought it was fairly even. But in Jacko's defence, when I have 18 and kick 3, it's poor game.
Hey, Jacko, tell us how this... You have legitimately, as in absolutely properly, been a cup hog this week because you've been the cup ambassador. You have gone everywhere with it, and that has been superb in the city of Perth.
Oh, it has, boys. All fun and games. But I'm up and about this morning because I can't believe we got our own MCG here and we got 2 cracking teams. People are just everywhere. I'm just driving into the stadium now to do a little dress rehearsal before the main day today. But you guys all know you've played in them, you've called them, you've seen it. It's just going to be spectacular, and everyone is up and about. We're so fortunate, lucky. Let's put on a bloody good show.
Now, Jacko, not for the first time, Damo needed help from someone who wanted to clip him. I understand at the Brownlow you had to step in and save our man.
Yeah, that was a bit rude by that young fella. So he was lucky I wasn't going to go 27 and a half this trip.
I seriously reckon, Glenn, that he was having a crack. It's the only time it's happened in Perth in the 4 weeks I've been here, Jim. But I reckon he didn't. He wasn't aware that I was talking to you at the time, and then he just looked across my shoulder, saw you, and I think you were just starting to lean in, and then he disappeared, Jim.
Yeah, well, I'll count that as a number.
Hey, Jacko, what about the good old days when we used to play each other at the Wacker and then we'd head out to gobbles and things like that? Those were the days, Jacko.
Gobbles.
Hey, Billy, I'm married now with kids, mate. Please, we're on here, aren't we?
No, yeah, well, we all were married there for a while, and then we've.
I'm kidding, mate. I'm kidding.
And we used to get the $1,000 drink card, and how good were those days, Jacko?
Yeah, well, we were semi-professional footballers back then, Billy, but it was good days. We had a lot of good fun. There's no doubting that.
Yeah.
And, the one thing that I speak to a lot of the guys now, they don't have a time or chance to interact. We got together. We went to the racket club, State of Origin, footy on a Tuesday night. We got to find out and see the personalities and characters playing on or close to Tony Lockett one night at the Wack. It was pretty menacing sight. But then to catch up with him afterwards, he was just a ripper, and I'll never forget moments like that.
Yeah.
Hey, Jacko, for a start, Bill turned up to your premiership reunion as a player from the other team, which is one of the more disgraceful things I've ever heard. But secondly, I did a panel thing yesterday with Ashley McIntosh and asked him about playing on Bill. And he said, Jacko, it was interesting because he kept running to weird places on the ground and I couldn't work out why in a grand final. And he said, after about sort of 3/4 of it, I worked out that he was just running away from John Worsfold.
Hey, I know what that's like. We used to do that at pre-season training when Woosha was on the other side. So we used to run away from Woosha.
Oh.
He was a lunatic.
He was. Mate, he'd smile. He'd have this nice smile. He might even say, "G'day, Bill." I go, "Oh, Woosha's all right." You go near him, bang! Hey, you and Barry Stoneham had some great... I know you and Duck played some great games, but Barry Stoneham was a very good player, wasn't he?
Nah, Billy, outstanding player. Prior to him obviously having that bad leg injury, and that really slowed him down a bit. But I mean, I was privileged to play. 1 week I'm playing on Duck. Next week I've got Sticks Kernan. Barry Stoneham was the All-Australian that year. He was arguably the best centre-half forward going around at that time. You had David Neitz coming through, Schwarter. I was playing on some handy players week to week, and then you rock up and you got Stewie Lowe. You just could not move buckets off the line of the ball. So don't worry, I had good dress front row seats to some of the best centre-half forwards in my generation.
Hey, Bill, I've just got a text message come through, and apparently you're in the West Coast best players that day. That's why you're invited to the reunion.
If you only knew.
Boys, it's been fun. I've got to go there.
Go, Jacko.
Say goodbye,
Well done,
Jacko.
See you, Wayne.
Are you okay,
Wayne.
you two?
I think he actually got the better of Duck
I
in
think-
the interview as well.
I think he
it's
beat him as a player and beat him as an interview. 19-2.
He's taken the jacket off.
He has. Look at
I
Duck.
think he's going to belt me.
Put it this way. I'm not too worried about that.
It's unusual, though, Jim, isn't it, to see Duck like that?
It's the only
It's
time
quiet.
he straightens up.
Back
The
down
rest
a
of the
bit.
time, there's never an issue, and
Nah.
then suddenly Jacko, and he just straightens up.
Yeah, just...
Which it worries me, to be honest.
It worries me
I'm
because-
glad I'm over here.
He wants to belt something in here, and it's me or Will in the room.
No, Will's unhappy. He's uncomfortable. We're coming back. Is it quiz time?
It
Will?
is.
Oh, 1-333-5-3.
10,000.
10 grand
Yeah,
on
pizza on
the
your
line. Hose Mary
Oh, yes.
is going to be one of the lifelines. I look forward to that. Yes. Hose's footy knowledge.
In the dress.
That's coming
Scale.
up.
Oh,
333.
shut up, Bernard.
Ring us now.